Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Going Dark podcast, episode 18. I knew that off the top of my head. Chop, how we feeling?
Yo, how we doing? How we doing? It's good to be back, man. And we are here at an opportune time. We've got a lot to discuss with Modern Warfare 3 just dropped. I guess the final season for zombies. They're gonna have one more season, but as far as I'm concerned, and for zombie players like me, this is the end. So this is like our last chance to really talk about it.
Yeah,
And did they
yeah.
do a good job? Did they do a poor job? We'll find out.
Find out next. Also, if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple, I just noticed that Chop is wearing a Black Ops 4 shirt and I'm wearing a Black Ops 2 shirt. We did not plan this.
Oh, no,
That's
we
just
did not.
that's just how in sync we are right now. Black Ops season's here. We're hyped. We're ready to go.
Oh, also,
Go ahead.
sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to.
no, go ahead.
I actually can't see your camera. Maybe we should restart.
You'll be able to see my camera in 2 seconds.
There we go.
Boom.
Nice.
We're not restarting. We're gonna keep it going, folks.
We here for it. Chat, technical issues. We never had them in our lives.
Never
Don't know
once in
anything
our
about
life. How do you want to open this bad boy up? I mean, we got season 5 reloaded.
that. Mhm.
We got a little Black Ops 6 news. We have some Warzone news, which we'll cover here today.
Yeah. I was actually gonna ask you about that. I want to
Yeah.
get to that in a second. I guess I want to open up really quick is just like with what Sledgehammer did with season 5 reloaded. And I have not played any of the multiplayer stuff. I don't know, what's going on over there. I've just been playing zombies, and I mean, it literally came out yesterday.
Yeah.
And I played all of the zombies content, and this is the end. I believe season 6 will actually be like going on at the time that BO6 is out, maybe like during the beta, or I'm not really sure the timing, but it'll be in like BO6 season. But as far as I'm concerned, MWZ or Modern Warfare 3 is over for zombies. Like, this was it. Now, I will say I feel like the way they ended it is kind of what I want out of a zombies ending. They gave me something I did not expect, and I feel like they expanded on ideas that I really enjoyed from maybe previous zombie games and made it very memorable. Like,
Yeah.
I'm actually quite impressed with how they ended MWZ. So for those uninitiated, what they did was they added the final Dark Ether Rift with the last story mission. And this Dark Ether Rift story mission is kind of like a Destiny level. You got this task to do, and then you got to kind of level jump, through this thing. You got to go really high vertically up, and then you have a really big boss fight at the end. And the boss fight, genuinely fantastic. I know a lot of people on Twitter they were crying like, "Oh, this looks like Destiny. When did COD become Destiny?" All this stuff. Yeah, I'm sure it is very inspired, probably by like, I don't know, maybe the Final Shape or the Taken King or something. I don't know. It did feel very Destiny in a way, but it's also a type of boss fight that they've tried before and it didn't work as well. But this one is actually like great.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed that. And the final cutscene of MWZ was genuinely a surprise, and it leads directly into Liberty Falls in BO6. Perfect. Awesome execution. I was really happy with it. Like, MWZ had a rough start from the perspective of the story. The gameplay and the content was there, and then it kind of shifted where like there was interesting story things going on, but not a whole lot of gameplay or content to talk about. But I feel like they actually kind of nailed it. And they put a nice little bow on it at the end of the season. But now that's it. MWZ is done. But I enjoyed a fair bit of it. I don't know how much you saw of it on Twitter, but I wanted to know if you had any thoughts on that.
I actually watched the end cutscene, and I will tell you right now, this is an honest opinion. I loved it, and I agree with you how they just cut it, led it into Liberty Falls. It made me, as a very, very, very casual zombies guy, get a little bit like, okay, like I want to see what this is all about this year. Like I said, I've always kind of got lost in the story,
Sure.
but I felt like this was a very easy to understand. Like, she got taken into a rift. And
It's pretty
then
on the rails, like, yeah, she got taken to the mirror, but there's, like, a little bit of mystery, like, you see, like,
yeah,
the shadow guy with the hat, and you're like, "Okay, what's going on?"
yep.
And then you hear, like, voices that don't appear to be coming from that guy, so there's a little intrigue going on. We hear about a new character named Miller. I don't think we know who that is yet. Um, so, I mean, they set themselves up well for Black Ops 6, and I think that actually makes me more interested in Liberty Falls. And I was talking about this last night. I think Liberty Falls might be like a low key, like a sleeper hit. I think this may be an
Like a
amazing map.
buried.
Maybe, man. Honestly, like, I really enjoyed Terminus. I think I played Terminus like 3 weeks ago at this point, and I've been thinking about it ever since. I want to
Yeah.
play it again. Um, and I have no doubt it'll be a fantastic map. But for some reason, I have a feeling Liberty Falls might be like where their their best work is. We'll
Yeah.
see. It's the one that's been kept a little more under wraps. But I'm looking forward to that. We'll be playing a little bit of it at COD next, which I'm excited for. And that will be coming. I can't believe we're going to be doing that next week.
I there was one more thing that I really thought was cool about that.
Yeah,
And I
yeah, go
can't
for it.
remember what it was on the picture of Liberty Falls, but it was like once you arrive, you never want to leave or something like that. I love those kind of
Yeah,
teasers. I think
that little
that's
like metal icon at the
yep, at the
bottom of the
bottom of the
thing.
picture. I was like, "Oh yeah." So, it's something I guess obviously with getting taken to Liberty Falls or whatever, but um I really that just the curiosity was going and I said, "Okay, this year is the year." Well, I guess this can kind of transfer with same kind of topic, but I don't know if you've been seeing the rumors. It looks like there is no early access for Zombies campaign. That's the rumor right now.
Mhm.
I want to get your opinion first, and I'll give you mine. But
Yeah.
I saw that,
No
and I kind of was
campaign.
like, "Oh wow,
So yeah, the rumor is no campaign early access, and okay. Here's the thing though, like obviously we have had campaign early access before, but we've never ever had zombies early access.
yeah,
And honestly, I'm not even really sure where that rumor came from. Like, I don't. I think somebody just said it one time, and then
yeah,
everyone believed it.
yeah,
I don't think that's ever been like established as a thing. They've never even hinted that's what they were doing. I think
yeah."
people just brought that up and the whole community ran with it. I'm glad there isn't like zombie early access, honestly. I don't think that's a great idea. I'm happy to wait until the full release of the game because if they were to like do a zombies early access and maybe if they only did like one map, I feel like it would just be really weird and disconnected to not have all of the content there from the beginning. Campaign early access is different because it's a linear story. You play through the thing like in a very deliberate manner. But I'm also okay with not having campaign early access either. Honestly, I don't know. I like the idea of getting my brand new game and
And
everything
everything's
on it
brand
being
new.
new.
Yeah,
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 yeah. I mean, again, it's nice, and for the Modern Warfare games specifically, I didn't mind because I wasn't a massive fan of those campaigns. To be honest, like
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's pretty clear. I've been fairly critical of those, but um, I don't mind playing those early. But this is a campaign I'm actually very interested in, and I kind of want to experience it when it's the right time.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to that.
So I definitely agree with what you're saying. I do kind of miss where you get the game, the whole package is there, the whole thing's new. I just think it's changed a little bit with how the times have, the times have changed kind of vibe. Like we've seen pretty much the whole game at this point,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I've
And
played pretty much the whole game at this
yeah,
point.
you've played the game and it's like I personally love the early campaign because the campaign's the one thing that I love. I do the campaign on every COD every year, and it always felt like you were behind, especially now this year with prestige and all that stuff and camo grinding. Now, don't
Mhm.
get me wrong, I am not doing race to prestige, but
No,
it
but I know what you mean, though. I know
like
what you mean.
it puts you at a disadvantage for
It
trying to
does,
enjoy a section of the game. And I think for
especially as like content creators.
that's our
Like
job. Right, right.
yeah, yeah. It's like for me, it's like I could play the campaign right when the game launches, but what I'm missing is I could be hunting the Easter egg over on Liberty Falls right now,
Exactly.
and I'm missing
You have to
like
choose which.
crucial time.
Yes. Well, and that's the thing too, is what was great about the campaign last game when you played it early. Was it 2 years in a row that it's been early? Because MW2 was
Yeah,
early as
yeah.
well, right?
Hmm.
And I think for me, I was able to split that up in like multiple streams, take my time. Like I think I did like 3 streams because I think MW2 was a longer campaign. Obviously, we know MW3 was one stream, but
Right.
MW2 I think I
Half the
did like
stream.
maybe 2 streams, 3 streams,
Mhm.
and take my time. Know that I got a couple days till multiplayer, and so it just allowed me to kind of play the game, take my time, figure out what content I wanted to do.
And not feel
Soak,
this
yeah,
anxiety that you're,
soak
like,
the
behind.
story in. Oh crap,
Yeah.
I'm not behind on multiplayer. Oh crap, I'm not behind on Warzone builds. Like,
Yeah. I think from the
just enjoy
perspective
it.
of just, like, a normal player, it's probably better to get everything at once. From the perspective of a content creator like us, honestly, probably a bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, yeah,
But, hey, I mean, I think I'll still try to find time to play the campaign as soon as I can. I think when the game launches, though, there would be no reason for me to just play campaign first and not jump into zombies, especially given that zombies is doing the guided mode thing where it's like there's only an Easter egg hunt for a certain window of time, and you really need to be there for
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So it's like I think for me, I'm gonna play the campaign after I beat the Terminus and Liberty Falls Easter egg at the very least.
Yeah, I think yours makes sense from a standpoint of zombies is hardcore. Like you kind of want to be first. Multiplayer, it's this year I'm thinking camo grind, being the first one to that and being the first one to max prestige, but I also don't want to do that so quick that you get max prestige in a couple months and you're like, well, now what do I
Then you're
do?
just done. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
I wonder how the grind is gonna be because, like, I
yeah,
wonder if it's gonna be so, because they know people are approaching it with that mindset, if it's gonna be more stretched out so that you can't just, like, get master prestige in, like, 2 or 3 days.
yes,
I
I
I
hope
wonder
so.
how they're gonna do that.
Um, but yeah, I mean, with multiplayer, I think it's more important. I'm actually probably, if there's no campaign early access, I think I'm gonna do that first. Dive in, beat that. You know, I don't know I don't even know my own content plan right now. It's like, man, the game's coming up in like 2 months, but I
Mhm.
almost feel like there's gonna be so much. Like this is the first year where there's like a fully fleshed out all 3 categories, and you're like, holy crap, what?
There will
Where do
be
I
too
go?
much to do, and you will have to pick and choose. You have to pick your battles, like,
Exactly.
that,
Like,
but that's not a bad thing. Like, if a
no,
game
no,
has
it's
so
great.
much content, they gotta pick your battles. It sucks because you have to sacrifice a lot of what you could be
Yes.
doing, but the stuff you are doing, is fantastic. Like, obviously, there's opportunity everywhere, and it'll be a ton of fun, I'm sure. So, I guess, yeah, on the one from a content creator's perspective, I am bummed there will probably not be campaign early access because I feel like they would have announced it by now. I don't think it's happening. Um, I don't think there will ever be a zombies early access either. Again, I think that was just a complete rumor. I don't know how
Yeah.
that got out
That
there.
one doesn't really make
That
sense
was
to
weird.
me.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen either. But um, uh, being having to sacrifice a little bit of campaign gameplay for 2 fully fledged Easter eggs on launch, I'll take that, man. The thing I wanted to ask you is, and I'm not sure because I've not like played any of it. How did Modern Warfare 3 end off from the multiplayer side of things? Because I know that you
Yeah.
had praised them a lot for really being consistent and carrying the content season all the
Yeah.
like seeing it through to the end, basically. How do you think they ended off? Oh, I guess, well, it's not really the end because season 6 is coming. It's
Yeah.
only end for
Yeah.
zombies. But how do you think they did as far as like just season 5?
I feel like this season was probably, I don't want to say no, because this season was this the Minecraft mode? Was that season 5?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
so
so.
yeah, I would say they've done. I mean, they've done a great job this entire year. I do think it's put a lot of pressure on Treyarch, to do what they did the entire year. Like, if we get a
Mhm.
great COD multiplayer, and then they give us the support that this game got as well, dude, it could be a great year. Because I mean, honestly, we know the story with MW3. We've said it 1,000 times. But if you actually play this entire year, you'd be like, wow, this multiplayer is really not that bad. Like this is a good
Mhm.
multiplayer, and they did a lot of stuff right. I know they just
So
introduced like a paintball mode too, where it's like they've just been doing fun stuff. And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's what made multiplayer fun back in the day, where we would get sticks and stones and sharpshooter. And imagine people complaining back in the day because sharpshooter wasn't a realistic game mode or
Yeah.
something like that. It's like, come on, like that's what
I
made that
feel
stuff fun.
I feel like there's a good core of people now that are like genuinely have been enjoying the multiplayer of MW3 since the beginning, and
Yeah.
they've kept like a lot of that audience. The thing I want to ask you, I feel like this leads very nicely into what I was thinking about. How do you think BO6 is realistically going to be able to support the game the whole year? I think they have
Yeah.
every intention to. And the thing I'm a little bit worried about is Treyarch is allegedly developing the next
Next
Call of
year.
Duty game
Yeah.
as well. And if that's the case, I don't see how it's physically possible to, you know, the studio is fully supporting the game until like season 5 or 6 or whatever, and then the next game comes out. Like, I'm sure they're already a little bit ahead of the curve. Like, by this point, they probably have like seasons 1 and 2 probably worked out for
Yeah.
BO6
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. But
I would
I
assume you're right.
wonder, do you think that they're going to be able to maintain like the same level of support for it despite allegedly developing next year's game too?
I'm gonna be honest with you. That would probably be my biggest thing that I'm nervous about for this game.
Mhm.
Riding the hype of it being a Black Ops, riding a hype that it's been 4 years till they, released the game, riding the hype of this all brand new maps, brand new zombies, a fresh campaign. But Raven is working on the campaign. It really wasn't Treyarch, or it's with Treyarch or something. So,
Mhm.
I, you know,
The
I do.
thing the thing that worries me is like I didn't mean to cut you off,
No,
but
no,
I
you're
was just
good.
gonna say the thing that worries me is like, okay, Modern Warfare Zombies, weird concept, but great launch and actually great season 1. Fantastic. And I'm like, okay, if it gets supported to this capacity the whole year, could be like a very memorable game mode. This could be a solid piece of content. And I'm not saying it's not, but they like Treyarch literally like left the project at
Yeah.
at about season like 3 or
Feels
4.
like forever ago, honestly.
They just pieced out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, they're gone. So it's like, is Treyarch gonna piece out on their own zombie game in BO6 midway through?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would go that far because I mean, Treyarch was helping Sludge make this mode anyways for a Sledgehammer game, whereas this is a Treyarch game and they're kind of more responsible for supporting it the whole year. But at the same time, they still got to make next year's game too, probably.
Or
So
is next year's something where it's like an expansion and they just own it this time?
yeah, do you think so? We could actually be getting the premium
Yeah, like,
DLC
hey
expansion?
guys, we're gonna release all the BO2 maps. We're gonna keep the same. If this movement's a hit, which I'm sure they've already planned it being the next 5 CODs movements, and also we're gonna go into a little rumor here because the rumor is COD 2026 with Infinity Ward. They're at odds with Activision or whoever the higher ups.
Hmm.
Tell me, here's a prediction. Tell me the higher ups don't want to keep they want to keep Omni movement, and Infinity Ward doesn't want Omni movement.
Hmm.
That's my prediction, and that's why I think there's a lot of friction. I also think that the absolute disaster that MW2 was, you know, I think Infinity Ward's always had a stubbornness about the studio, and
Sure.
I just think that they are like, hey, we know what's best. And the sad part
Yeah,
is with the sales, you could kind of be like, yeah, they do, but the numbers went like this as soon as the initial sales went away. And also let's be honest, the MW2 name probably got them double the sales.
for
So
sure.
I
100%.
I'm thinking, could they just own it being a DLC, whatever you want to call it? Give us the maps, give us the BO2 maps, give us the guns, and it just be like an extension of Black Ops 6. Because I'll tell you right now, if this game's good, I want to stay on it. Like I'm
Yeah.
tired of well, I don't know. Maybe I'm not tired of. Maybe I'm just tired of getting bad games. But like, I'm tired of learning another game. If that, does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah.
No.
Like when you get a, I think what you're trying to say is like when you find a when you finally find a flavor of Call of Duty you like, you
Yeah.
want to enjoy it as long as possible,
Yes.
but then they flip you onto the next flavor that you maybe don't like as much. When you have a flavor of Call of Duty you don't like, then you're totally fine to get off to the next one. But it's like if BO6 is a good flavor, I want them to stay on it. I feel like realistically, this could be the time they do
Stay.
the the premium
Yeah.
DLC. And because also when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, this year's Black Ops 6. If they're allegedly developing the next game, what are they going to call it? Black Ops 7? Probably not.
Yeah. Black
I
Ops 2.0.
that would just be okay. I mean, they, to be fair, they did MW2 and then MW3 right next to each other.
Yeah.
But doing like Black Ops 6 and then Black Ops 7 right next to each other just seems kind of funky.
Well,
I don't know.
like you said, the flavor thing. Like I remember back in the golden age, I just never. I don't know what it is. I've never been a Modern Warfare guy, except for COD 4. COD 4 I loved, but the
Okay.
rest I just never. The MW2, the MW3, I played them, and this is absurd to think about nowadays because you would never do it nowadays. But I would go back to the Treyarch game. Like I would go.
Oh yeah.
When MW2 came out, I went back to Black Ops 1, played that for the majority of the year again. Same thing with MW3. I went back to BO2. And then Ghost came out and I went back to BO2.
Ghost, I went back to BO2.
I played BO2 for 3 years. And I'm like,
yeah, same.
and
I mean,
that game had
Mhm.
that game had the population. Like you find games all the time. I was playing League play 2 years later. So I just think
That game had probably the best lifespan of any Call of Duty.
By
I'm gonna
far.
say that on record.
By far.
Okay, BO3 did as well, I think to a lesser degree, but I think BO2 had the longest, like, not including custom zombies, because that's a totally different thing, but just the actual game, in terms of like a classic Call of Duty's lifespan, I think BO2 had easily the longest viable one.
yes.
And
I mean, I remember even maybe possibly going back a little bit during AW.
yeah. Oh, I did. I know I did.
I
I mean,
mean,
like, dude, when Exo Zombies was not cutting it for me, I was hopping my ass back on Transit, bro. I was getting my ass back on Origins.
that's
like,
probably, now that I'm thinking about it, like why BO2 has the reputation it has too. Like didn't even process that.
Yeah, it covered so much.
So
time
many
of,
years.
you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, dude, if they were to ask my suggestion, take BO6, make this the game for the next 2 years, but after the first year, let's have a little shake up. You know, like don't need a brand new game, but let's shake it up enough for it's like, okay, it feels different. Because that was the problem with MW3 and MW2. It was a DLC, we all kind of know it, but there wasn't a big enough jump of like it was I don't know, it's a tough one because like now that I'm thinking about MW3, it was like it got old because the old maps and nothing was really different about it. But I think that Treyarch's always done a good job of like making stuff
But then in
different.
post-launch, Sledgehammer went the other way and just did everything different. You know, they're doing
Yes.
all these crazy, like, silly things.
They went
in
wild.
Post-launch content. They went completely off the rails from like the original vision of the game, you might say. And
I think that's why it's lost some
fundamentally
people
agree with
too. I mean,
Yeah.
the last skin I just saw was like a blub head or something like that. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I did not. But
I gotta find it. I mean, anyway, go ahead. But
no,
like,
I was just gonna say that like the whole gimmick, not maybe not gimmick, but let's say marketing tactic that they sold Modern Warfare 3 on, and I'm not blaming them for this, but it was of course the fact that guys, lads, the 2009 Modern Warfare 2 maps are back, you know,
Yes.
and they also went, we got better movement than last year's game. They were hardcore selling it on that, but mostly the nostalgia fact that the MW2 maps are back. That's not even really a talking point ever anymore. I kind of forget sometimes that was like the thing. To be
that was
honest.
like the main thing.
Yeah, I
That
kind of
and,
forget
that and slide
sometimes.
canceling was back. Yeah, there's a few skins. I mean, you probably won't see them on the podcast here, but there's like a snail head, a cat face, a fish head.
Send me a link. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I actually did see these.
It's
You
all
said fish head. I know what you're talking about.
yeah, it's all happening.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just think they've lost the plot a little bit.
Now, what do you think for BO6? Do you think they should try to hang on to the plot of what this game is,
Just a
or
little bit, man. I
Mhm.
think I feel like Cold War somehow hung on to the plot, but they did have some wild skins. I don't know if that makes
Mhm.
sense, but somehow when I was playing Cold War, I went back and played Cold War the other day for a video, and it felt like there was nothing really like there's stuff that's crazy, but it doesn't take you out of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like
there
I
was
don't.
stuff there was stuff that's crazy but not cringe.
Yeah, I
Like
think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Because I mean, I played MW3 the other day, and what I was dying to and what was happening, I was like, what on earth? The game
Mhm.
mechanically is a good game, but like, there's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that I do get, and they need a year. Honestly, if I were Call of Duty and try to earn some of these people back that like hate COD right now, they think it's just gone overboard. Have a year of COD. This is the year. You know, everybody's attention is on this one. All the all these leaks that are happening with the multiplayer, like, are you seeing anybody complain? I'm not. I mean, I feel like everybody's kind of like, wow, that looks like Cold War with a little bit of sliding and
Mhm.
speed. And I'm like, that's what we've all been wanting pretty much. So I feel like this is the time to get your people back. And then if you make a solid year, no, no weird skins, which I don't know if that's going to happen. I highly doubt it does, but you could like gain the respect back from some of these people that have just been like absolutely roasting COD the last 4 years,
Mhm.
ever since literally probably ever since Vanguard, because Vanguard had craziness. Um,
Yeah.
MW2, MW3, like,
I think there's a big section of the community that is very cynical on COD just because of the fact that they go so far off the rails sometimes, and
yeah,
I kinda sympathize with them a little
I do.
bit. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
kinda
agree.
get it. I really get it. I for BO6, like, I know they're gonna have crazy stuff in the game eventually, but, like, what we said with Cold War, obviously, to some extent, maybe a little subjective, but if they can be crazy without being cringe, I might be more fine with that. Um, like Cold War for me, like, and I think about again more from a zombies angle, but I was thinking about like a lot of the skins that were in the game. Like you could have like this is what I talk about like crazy. Is like you could have a team of four Samantha Maxises saving Samantha Maxis from the damn Dark Ether in Firebase Z. It looked super funny in a cutscene. It was crazy. It was funny, but I feel like the skins never became like overly
Yeah,
cringe.
yeah,
um there were like there were rails like here you could work within reason, but there were rails. And if Treyarch can show, and I don't know if it's Treyarch or Activision calling the shot here, but maybe a bit of both, but if they can just show a little restraint sometimes, I think that might go a long way. They can still, have fun and do crazy things with whatever they want to do skin wise or game modes or guns, whatever. But if they if they can show a little restraint, a little discipline, and maybe not go wildly off the cliff, they might be able to maintain like what Black Ops 6 wants to be.
yeah,
And I think I'll be very happy to see that.
yeah. I totally agree. I just think we need a good year, man. The COD community needs a good year. We need something. Um,
Mhm.
and I don't know where I was going to go with that. I had something I was really going to say, and now I forgot
Well,
about it.
one
So
of the thing I want to ask you is, do you think Modern Warfare 3 is even gonna try for season 6, given that like everybody's gonna be focusing on Black Ops? Like, are they even gonna have any incentive to really? I mean, at least from my perspective, it seems like no,
it's
because
over.
there's no zombies content. It's over. Like,
Yeah.
do you think they
I,
have any incentive to even try
I,
anymore?
yeah, I don't really feel like there's honestly a need. I don't think there's a need for another season, honestly. By the end, we're going to have the beta. September will come and go. I mean, they probably will do another season, I would assume, but
Mhm.
I think once I play that beta, I will never
You won't
touch
want to get back on Modern Warfare 3 type thing.
not even for a millisecond. Like not a millisecond. So
Yeah.
I've
And
been
with no
playing.
zombies, I have no incentive to get back on the game.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they probably know that, so maybe they'll try to do something funky for the last one, but I'd say just let that thing go ahead and go. We appreciate your year of actual support. But it's time to go on to Black Ops. It's time to get Treyarch back involved here. So for the main plot, not just zombies. So
Right.
yeah, I think I just keep saying I'm so excited to see. I mean, like you said, we get to play this game in legitimately like 4 days. And it's just like I cannot wait to play it.
Liberty Falls, baby. It's
Liberty
coming. Better be ready,
Falls.
man.
Liberty Falls is gonna be fun. Like I'm excited to play that. And we were in a call. Did you make the call?
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't know if I'm right on this, but there will be Warzone gameplay there, which I did know that is true. But apparently we don't have to play Warzone the whole time if we don't want to. Like we can go back to zombies or like we can extend our zombies time. I am doing that. I am doing that. Also,
I was actually about to ask you.
if we can play together, okay. Every year, guys, I'll tell a funny story. Every year, the people at the tech test, they go, please do not play with, do not invite, do not add friends. It can mess with the build. Somehow, Swag and Biffle and end up on the same Warzone team. I'm like, yes, I'm with 2 devs. What happened? So like, I'm like, you know what? Y'all guys can play Warzone, do your thing. I want to do zombies and I want to do it with somebody where like we're talking.
Dude, I would love to. Yeah.
So
if we could arrange that.
Listen, if there's a rule to invite people, if one of the devs are watching, I'm not going to invite somebody.
We're gonna keep queuing up until we get in the same lobby.
We're gonna keep queuing up till we get in the same lobby. But yeah, I really want to do that with like people that I know, and maybe we can get like John or something.
Yeah, I think the thing I wanted to add to that was like, yeah, I thought it was really interesting that they allow us to like, bro, it's like when you go to, for me, it's like when you go to a restaurant, bro, it's like you pull up like Cane's or something and it's like substituting that damn coleslaw for an extra bread. Yo, you give me 30 more minutes of zombies gameplay, that's like a fat piece of toast with butter on it. I'm not, Warzone is coleslaw to me. I don't care about that. But you give me that extra bread, I'm in, man. I'm in. I wanted to ask you about that. I mean, given that Warzone is going to be heavily showcased there, and I think the map got revealed today.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Warzone?
Man, I hate to say it. I just have lost all passion for that mode. I watch it periodically to kind of stay informed because I do like to know all aspects of Call of Duty. And if somebody were to quiz me on like what's happening in Warzone, I could probably tell you the meta and all that stuff. But
sure,
the mode is just so sweaty now. I mean, it's exhaustingly sweaty. And anybody that plays Warzone will tell you the way they're not getting sweaty lobbies is they're doing manipulation of the lobbies pretty much. And I don't want to have to go get another Xbox or pay for a VPN or to just play a casual game. Like I know multiplayer is going to be sweaty, but I feel like it's different. I feel like because it's just like 6-on-6. I don't know what I'm trying to even say with that, but you play more games, I guess. A Warzone match you can last 30 minutes.
More churn,
there's more. Yeah, there's more, and I'm excited to play a multiplayer. COD off rip again. I haven't played multiplayer off rip since probably MW19 or Black Ops 4. Not even Black Ops 4 because that was Blackout. Like I can't tell you the last Call of Duty I dropped in probably COD 4 remastered or World War II because it was Black Ops 4 with Blackout. MW19 I didn't really enjoy that COD when it first came out. Warzone drops. I play that legitimately for the next 3 years. And then MW3 comes out and I kind of get burnt out with that game early because I'm like, there's not really much going on here differently. And except for like the sliding and stuff. So, and then Warzone, I'd been completely burned out. So this is the first COD that I'm like, okay, it's time to grind multiplayer, baby, off rip. I can't wait.
I love that. Yeah, so I guess I have looked generally at like the Warzone community.
Oh yeah, you asked me about the Warzone thing. I didn't even answer it.
I was like, what do you think about the map? Like,
I kind of did my typical trolling on Twitter because if you guys know, Google when you get home Area 99, or if you're listening right now, there's a little preview on Charlie Intel, Call of Duty, all that good stuff, and there's the Nuketown truck. So I said this is Nuketown. I just said this is Nuketown in the Warzone map, and people are like, "What are you blind? Like that isn't Nuketown." But I hope it kind of is because it would be kind of funny because I was doing it
We
just to
do a
be
bit of
stupid
trolling.
because the
Yeah.
truck is exactly like the Cold War truck. But yeah, I don't know. Apparently, so was with Warzone. I can tell you the rumors are it's going to be Urzikstan, the map that is currently now, until March of 2025, which is
Oh, wow.
somehow well, that's going to be then replaced by Verdansk. Verdansk is the map for this next game, and March of 2025 is 5 years since Warzone 1 came out, which is disgusting to think about.
Wow.
So this map, the Area 99, is apparently, the rumor is it's going to replace Rebirth. I think that's going to be more of like a Rebirth replacement for about a week or two, and then it'll go into rotation. Maybe they'll see how it gets responded to. But I mean, I'm not.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. But I don't see. I don't care. I really don't. Like, I'll probably try it out.
You
See
don't
if
have
I
a
like
dog in
it.
the fight anymore. Like,
Yeah,
I know,
and the
I know
Omni
what that feels
movement.
like.
I don't think the Omni movement is getting put in the game right away. Correct. So
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I think it's coming later to Warzone. I think it's coming in like season 1. So
That'd be
that's
so weird.
yeah. So it's gonna be default Warzone, and then we're gonna be. It's almost gonna be like the Cold War reversed. It was like
Yeah.
Well, I guess it was kind of the same thing. Like Warzone was a certain way and multiplayer was a certain way. It's gonna be that exact same format until they sync everything going forward. So I don't think I'll be able to play Omni movement and then go back to MW3 movement. I just don't think that's going to be possible for me.
I don't think it'll ever regress from this point either.
I think Omni
Like,
movement's going to stay forever. I think
I think it's here to stay.
Yeah, I think that's my prediction. And when you go back, it's going to be weird. It's going to kind of that evolution of like when you go back and play COD 4 and COD 5, World at War, you just feel a touch slow, and then like every COD speeds it up a little bit. Every COD.
There's a bit of clunky to those old games. That Every time you go to a new title, a little bit gets shaved off.
Yes. And then you're like playing Black Ops 4 and you're all over the map, perfect sliding, sprinting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is the next evolution. I think this is what we'll see in 10 years when they think of something else. We'll go, man, remember Omni movement? How it was like. Now it feels a little clunky or something.
So archaic, so ancient.
Yeah. So
I think that'll happen.
But yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at. We're going to be doing a podcast at COD Next, which I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if we said that last podcast, but if you didn't know, well, you obviously didn't know, but I have these little mics, and they sound really, really good. So the mic quality might not be as good as what we got going on right now, but it's going to be pretty dang good for a live pod at COD Next in probably a hotel room or a lobby or something. So. I'm gonna bring my phone and a tripod, and then we're just gonna record that thing live. I'm gonna upload it straight from my phone. Who knows how long that'll take, but
y'all are gonna get some behind the scenes access.
Yeah,
probably we'll do a podcast after like we play the game, give our impressions.
Yeah, I'm thinking like once the day's done, we kind of digest a little bit, maybe like that morning or something, Friday morning. Because do you know when you leave Friday morning?
I don't.
Or Thursday morning or whatever.
It's pretty early, I think, but
I think I'm gonna leave early too. They asked me, and I'm like, 8 a.m. Get me out of there.
Yeah.
So maybe Wednesday night after COD Next.
Yeah. We'll have something for y'all for like impressions and what we played, and give you a real deep dive into like, okay, that was the last time we get to play the game before the beta comes out, and then literally the day I come home, beta's out already, and then everybody gets to play it, and then we're into the full game pretty much.
Yeah. It's gonna be good, man.
I'm looking forward to it.
But yeah, I mean that was a little check-in episode. We were debating on doing one this week. Chop texted me, said, "Hey, you want to do a quick one?" I said, "Absolutely. Let's get this thing cooking." So that's our little season 5 reloaded thoughts. Black Ops 6 thoughts.
I wanted to do that because I feel like we wouldn't have another opportunity to talk about Modern Warfare 3 season 5, just with all the COD stuff that's going to be going on the next week. We wouldn't be able to go back. Like if we were going to talk about MW3, now is the time to do it. And I just want to quickly wrap off and say that I want to say a well done to Sledgehammer for
Yes.
taking a very weird, rough year of zombies and even just Call of Duty in general and spinning it into something pretty memorable. And the ending of zombies for me for this little mode, um, I very much enjoyed it. I think they ended it off with like a really high note, and I think it was fantastic
Yeah.
personally. So I want to say a big, congratulations to them for doing that. As far as my playtime goes, that's probably it for MW3 for me because there's no more zombies. That's probably me checking out, but I'm looking forward to BO6 and then maybe, whatever's down the road. But MW3 got a nice little bow on it now. So I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, I think they deserve the credit because we all know the story with that game or the behind the scenes. So
Yeah.
sticking with the whole game for multiplayer, I think that's pretty cool. Also, Call of Duty just tweeted the list of people who's coming to COD
Oh, huge.
next. So
Huge.
there it is.
That's
T
our
Dog
cue.
Smitty, baby. I'm on the list, baby. Come on. Let me find you. Let me find you. Let me find you. Did they add the 0? Yep, you got a 0.
Yes, they did.
They got the 0.
They got it on
Oh,
lock.
Espresso. He's there. He's on the list.
Okay, we got some. I'm seeing some homies on the list right now.
Okay,
All
there's
right,
a couple people that we saw last year. Okay, first of all, one side comment. This was apparently supposed to be smaller than last year.
Yeah.
This is not smaller than last year. This might be bigger than last year.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big list.
Yo. The truth lies, dude.
The truth lies. You might have been right. Yeah, dude,
That's
this has
crazy,
got like
man.
pros are coming. Like I see Zinni and Attach.
Maybe they decided like last minute. They're like, you know what? Let's just invite everybody. It's
Let's
fine.
just get the people going, man. You know?
Yeah.
Is Courage
That's
coming?
so good.
No Courage.
Don't see his name.
I would say that's an LA to MD happening or DC.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a big COD guy anymore. And then anyway, sorry, that's we got sidetracked. That tweet came out.
Hey, but I'm ready, man. I think we're gonna have a great time there. Like, and we will keep y'all updated. Y'all, the next podcast y'all will see, we will probably be. Well, I guess we won't be in like a crazy building. We'll probably just be in a hotel, but it'll be an in-person podcast. So we'll see y'all then.
Sounds great. Everybody, thank you for watching. As always, we appreciate the support. If you're on YouTube, I don't ask this, but if you can leave a like, make sure you're subscribed. I don't know why you wouldn't be subscribed. What are you doing if you're not? But and then Spotify, make sure you leave a 5-star. Same thing with Apple. The Spotify they just keep crushing it. We're like 2 something now, so it's pretty cool to see that. And I'm trying to think, like I always want to say like share the podcast just because it helps us out. It gets more
if you got a friend that likes Call of Duty
Yeah.
or it's a friend that wants to listen to podcasts. I mean, like I know a lot of people listen to this podcast that don't necessarily play COD all the time, but they just listen to us yap about it.
Yeah.
For some reason, I appreciate y'all who do. But yeah, I mean, y'all have absolutely killed the support on this. It's amazing, and I'm very, very grateful for that. So share it with whoever, and we are just going to keep providing content for you guys. So I appreciate it very much.
All right, y'all. That is today's episode. We will see you next week at COD Next with our thoughts on Black Ops 6. Get yourselves ready, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
We will see you soon.
Peace out, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.